head in the sand. Yep, the House Oversight Committee deposed Jeffrey Epstein's longtime accountant, Richard Kahn. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Ehrenberg, former state attorney for Palm Beach County, a.k.a. the Florida Lawman here on Substack. Thanks for your support. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're already a subscriber, please consider upgrading. We're doing our first live Q&A later tonight, 6:30 p.m. for those upgraded subscribers. But these videos will continue to be free. I want to get the word out for everyone that we are doing some good stuff here on this Substack, including some really insightful legal analysis. Let's talk about our favorite topic, the ongoing Epstein scandal, and in particular, the accountant for Jeffrey Epstein, a guy named Richard Kahn. Now, Richard Kahn testified behind closed doors, under oath, and he said he was not aware of the abuse and was under the impression that Epstein made his many millions of dollars as a simple tax advisor. Really? Yeah. I guess counting a monster's money doesn't make you a mathematician, right? It makes you sort of a mechanic for a machine of misery. I mean, that is the biggest question when it comes to Epstein. How did he make his money? Why did people throw all these millions at a guy who didn't seem to have any extraordinary talents, but he did have a harem of underage girls who were around him, who now we know were being sexually assaulted? And at the time, even if you didn't know about the assault, it seemed to be a little disturbing. And yet he just thought it was just normal, apparently. A tax advisor didn't notice any abuse, didn't even think about it. Of course, some of these are the same people who didn't think that Michael Jackson was doing anything by sleeping with underage boys, but that's another video for another day. So when it comes to this guy Kahn, he did admit, though, despite not knowing that Epstein was committing any abuse, he did admit to facilitating a fake marriage for an Epstein victim and even impersonating Epstein in communications with banks. So, yeah, he didn't see the red flags, but he was literally the one like sewing the flags and waving them at the bank. And despite everything that Epstein did, Kahn remained a co-executor and beneficiary of the Epstein estate alongside a lawyer named Darren Indyke. And as you would expect, during the deposition, the accountant said he couldn't recall a lot of things. And when it came to that, there was a member of Congress, James Walkinshaw. He's a Democrat who noted that Kahn suddenly lost his memory regarding specific transactions to survivors. So you can be sharp enough to track money across the Atlantic, right? But you go blank when it hits a victim's bank account. So I mean, a lot of the stuff is suspicious, but he's not going to be charged unless you have the goods. I mean, I'm going to do a video about an article written in Politico, an in-depth article, which went into why people weren't charged. And the argument in this article is that the prosecutors didn't have enough evidence. And I'm, as a former prosecutor, I'm going to dissect that and tell you if I agree. And, you know, what we do here is just we give it straight. There's no confirmation bias here. And so we're going to go through that. But in the meantime, the committee has now reviewed over 40,000 documents from JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank. And so we're still trying to figure out how Epstein made his money. But you're not going to get the answer from this accountant. What was also interesting is that Leslie Wexner actually pushed back after this testimony when he was asked about Kahn's claim that Epstein transferred money to Leslie Wexner. Wexner's lawyer, or a spokesperson, said that he did not transfer money to Epstein. He said Epstein was retained to provide wealth management services for well over a decade, for which he was paid for his services. In addition, Epstein stole funds from Mr. Wexner, about $100 million of which Mr. Wexner was able to recover. And as far as why Kahn said he was serving as co-executor of Epstein's estate, despite everything that's happened, everything that we now know, well, Kahn said under oath in his deposition that he thought his information on Epstein's finances could help victims. He said he has already helped facilitate compensation for many of these women. this story is not going away. And I can tell you, it is difficult to prosecute any of these individuals. You'd have to show that he was part of it. And this is the account. Did he know that the money was going for criminal purposes? Did he know? And unless you can show that, the fact that he had his head in the sand is not going to be good enough, especially this far removed from the incident. And when you have other people who are alleged co-conspirators still out there not being charged, don't expect to see the account to be charged here. But you can be held accountable in the court of public opinion. And we'll keep following it here on Substack. I'm Dave Aronberg, a.k.a. the Florida Lawman. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Also, upgrade your subscription. We're going to do that live Q&A later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.